see you, Mr. Turner.
Avenue, and I rose again from the dead.
You look very good.
You look good.
I just wanted to bring some issues back to the council. I know I can't address Sal, so I'll address it to Madam President. And 5/31/2011, my last council meeting, I addressed the council and I asked certain questions about the redevelopment. And I was assured by the council that they would be addressed.
Welcome to the May 31st, 2011 Township Council meeting. Feels like the first meeting of summer.
The recent presentation that the mayor and the administration put on the redevelopment of the downtown. So I just wanted to ask and set the stage for a bunch of questions, and maybe the council and the mayor can help answer some of these. The economic downturn has clearly stalled redevelopment, but the following questions must be answered such that our existing residents should not have to pay or subsidize any redevelopment project. When will the detailed financial structuring of the downtown redevelopment project be available to the public? I think the public really needs to know that, or what it looks like. Why should our current residents subsidize school tax for those new residents? And I would hope that, again, the council take these questions and at least provide answer before the resolution, which I think is in June.
Not on tonight's agenda. There's no issue on tonight's agenda.
No,
Right.
before. That's why I'm presenting this before the resolution, so you have enough time to work on it. Let the project stand on its own. If it's real, the developer should bear the cost and stand the risk. That's what a free market does. What is the fair market value for the DPW asset? Is it the township and the administration plan to monetize its assets? Because if I understand clearly that asset will be sold to the developer. What is the plan for the west side of Main Street in front of the redevelopment? If you think you're going to build $400,000 one-bedroom apartment or two-bedroom apartment, and you look out your window they are historic homes. I'm never going to denigrate the homes that are there. They're historic homes. They need some work. But again, how do you sell a unit for $400,000 when you look out the window and you go, what am I looking at? It's not Bel Air. The BOE board members at the last meeting stated that the liaison between the BOE and the town council is not working, and they are not in the loop with the revised redevelopment plan. Not my words. It was said at the last meeting. It's on record. Can the council assure the public that no current or former municipal employee, elected official, has vested or invested or as a vested interest directly or indirectly in the redevelopment? I think some due diligence ought to be done to ensure that we have transparency in the total project. If so, will the council do its due diligence or report back on such to the public? Will you do your due diligence before the first reading and report on my questions to the public? I just got basic questions. It's just a bunch of questions. And again, if you're going to have a first reading in June, this is the end of the month, I think the mayor, rightfully so, brought it to the public 2-3 weeks ago. Those who show up got to hear what the project was. Now we know where it is. I think we need a little bit more detail. A project of that size can't be thrown at the town in 2 months. Basically, that's what you're doing. And I think we really need to get a good feel for what that project looks like. Questions?
I just want to...
We're not asking questions.
No, I just want to make a comment on the redevelopment issue. I just want to ask Mr. Turner if he can send those questions over via email. I personally will follow up on those questions myself, just for my own, just for my own information and knowledge.
Council.
Yeah, council at westorange.org. And also I want to urge the public to review that redevelopment presentation. It's on channel 36 on a rotating schedule. So if the public would like more information, they can look at that our presentation on that local access channel, 36 and 45 on FiOS, and also on the website, westorange.org. You'll have a copy of the slides and a copy of the frequently asked questions in there as well, so that we can all be informed as to how this project is coming together. But I'm looking forward to getting those questions.
What really brought this to my attention and my concern is that the township financial experts didn't do a good job at answering these questions. If you know, that guy was in the finance business and didn't answer the questions that I heard asked in the room before I walked out of the room, I would be troubled that that person represented me financially.
Well, as a council, I guarantee you that we'll do our due diligence and make sure that those questions are answered, because we have a vote on this whole process, and we owe it to the public to do that.
Anyone else with public comment on that issue, on the issue of redevelopment? Then I don't know if Mayor or any council members, Councilman, if you want to.
The brief time I've had to review Mr. Turner's questions, as always, they are on point and very well articulated, and we do need to answer those questions. I was just going to follow up on Councilman Cirillo's comment that if you can't watch the video of the mayor's community meeting on local cable access, you can go to a website and download the video yourself. The website address is westorangegrassroots.org, and it also has some materials there on the redevelopment as well.
Any other member of the council? Council President,
I brought the council and the administration. I gave you all a copy of what the issues were, and to date, there is no response. What really bugs the hell out of me now is the fact that you promised, as a council and administration, that you would respond before the first reading or the second reading of the redevelopment. Here we are, there's a reading on the redevelopment, the next council meeting, and to date, no answer.
But it's only on first reading. There's going to be a presentation.
It doesn't matter. That was the promise. And what I'm getting at is accountability here. I see the council ask the county to report back and expect a report back from the county. I think the people of West Orange, when they ask a question to the council, they expect a report back from the council and not ignore it. That's 6 months. This is no different than any board of directors that questions are asked and you either report back or you just say, no, we're not going to address it. But I don't want to walk away with an expectation that the council is going to do something and the council does nothing. That's just yesing us to death. So where I stand today, I think we, the residents of West Orange, have not received any resolution or response, as promised by the council and the administration, on the redevelopment questions that was put forth before the council on 5/31/2011. Should we now assume that questions raised by the public to the council and administration are meaningless?
No.
Okay. Will transparency be part of the township? Because most of the questions were around the issue of transparency. Should we just have faith and hope for the best? I really think that's what you're asking us to do. And I don't think that's fair to the public. There's a lot of holes in that redevelopment. There's a lot of costs to be taken on by the citizens of this township. And therefore, you owe it to the township to detail it. Detail it to the residents so we know what we are taking on. The school board has issues with it. Has those issues ever been resolved with the school board? The school board, in one of their budget meetings, said they don't think the money coming from redevelopment is enough. Has the council ever taken the time to address that? Or has anyone looked at what the real cost should be for each new resident that will occupy that place? I don't think we really know. And before you have that reading, I think you owe me or the township an answer. You promised, and I think you should keep your promise. That's it.
Anyone else? Ms. Morelli?
Yes, Council President.
I'm sorry, Ms. Morelli, hold out 1 minute.
It's okay.
Councilman Cirillo.
Mr. Turner talked about it not being fair to the public, answering questions or reporting back. Tell you the truth, as a council person, I hadn't seen a report on the redevelopment until this morning. So none of my questions have been answered either. So we couldn't answer those questions because the redevelopment process hadn't been promulgated yet. So I don't know what can be reported if, and if I'm misspeaking, please help me out. If there's nothing to report because there is no plan. There was supposed to be a plan that was going to be introduced in December and January, and it wasn't introduced. Now, the proposal, and Mr. Marowitz talked about, that's going to be introduced on the 21st, has been posted up, and yes, I agree it's a little premature. It's all legal language. I'm not an attorney. I'm having a hard time reading it. I just printed out the document. I'm going to go home and try to comb through it and figure it out. But, Mr. Turner, we couldn't answer those questions. I can't answer the questions. So I think it's a little unfair to say that we haven't, kept our promise. I just think that the plan wasn't ready yet to be, or the plan wasn't ready to be discussed. And I'm sure that as we move forward, the Board of Education issues, some of the concerns of the residents, we talked about bonds and all that stuff. I mean, that's all going to come out in public in a transparent fashion and is going to be addressed and responded to. So we saved all the emails. I actually have your email. I was just looking through it and I found it. We have those questions that you asked, and I'm sure that we still have some time until the 21st to be able to answer Mr. Turner's question, and we can keep our promise of being transparent to the public. So just be a little bit fair to us and understand our position as well. We didn't have that information readily available.
Councilman, I was going to basically reiterate the same response to Mr. Turner. To go from May 31st, 2011 to where we are in February, a lot has changed with the redevelopment, and it's been a work in progress. I don't even have all the facts yet. We are just learning all of this. So I agree with Councilman Cirillo that there really was not much for us to report. It has been postponed to be on the agenda for the reason that the mayor wanted everything in place. So when the presentation is presented at our next meeting on the 27th, everything, all the necessary paperwork, everything will be completed so that whatever concerns either the council or the public has, that they will be able to be answered. So it's not that I, as your elected official, didn't respond to that. I did not have that much to tell you because it was constantly changing. I still don't have all the facts. I'm learning it now. So, okay. Anyone else? You can't come back up.